In this video, we are going to go through the process of ordering shutters for a bay. Please be aware that bay posts are only available in the Madison range. If you are looking to create bays using Hampton or Nevada, order separate shutters to make up the bay. You can then order triangular battens which will fill the void at the rear of where you connect the shutters. If ordering separate shutters for a box bay, you can order corner posts. Please be aware that we are now using back of bay measurements with Madison when ordering bay shutters. For guidance on this, please refer to the document in the Files and Downloads section on the portal dashboard. If ordering individual shutters, the measuring process has not changed. First, we select New Order on the left-hand side of the screen. We now get a pop-up which asks us to enter a reference name for the order. This is what the order will be referred to, and therefore we suggest using either the customer's name or their address as their reference. In front of us now we can see several options available to us. In most cases you will select Add Shutter. If, however, you are only looking to order battens, posts or trims, then you can select them here. If you will be adding these to your order alongside shutters, you will have the opportunity to do so before we complete the order. When we have selected Add Shutter, we are taken to this page. The first thing to do is to specify a location. We would recommend that you are detailed in this, as the location you input here will be on the packaging of the shutter when it's delivered. Underneath the Specify Location section is Measurement Type. In Measurement Type, as we will be ordering either an L or a Z frame for this bay, we will select Inside. The next thing to select is which range you are going to use. As we are ordering a bay shutter, we're going to select Madison. Please note, we do not offer bay posts in either the Hampton or Nevada ranges. To install shutters into a bay using Hampton or Nevada, you can use the triangular wedges available in either 90 or 135 degree options. This will allow you to join the shutters together to create the same finish as if using a bay post. In this instance, we will select Madison and then a full height shutter. Now that we've selected the range and which style of shutter we want, we can see below the fields that need entering for the sizing of the shutter. In this instance, we will be inputting generic sizing. When entering the width of a bay, we need to input the total width from the far left of the bay to the far right. In other words, we add up the width of each section and the combined figure is what we input as the width. Please remember when inputting sizes to ensure that you have accounted for deductions you will need. We will build the shutters to the sizes you input, and therefore you must submit the sizes with the deductions already accounted for. Please note that we will only manufacture shutters which are within the size limits detailed in the specification sheets. Selecting the louver size drop down, we are shown what size louvers are available in this range. When we input a louver size, we can see that the louver type drop down menu becomes available. We now select whether we will be ordering an elliptical or an urban style louver. The next option available to us is extra louvers. This allows us to add additional louvers to the order as spares should we wish to. If you do not want any spare louvers, leave this section blank. Extra louvers are only available in Madison. If you are adding a mid-rail to the shutter, then you will need to fill in the last two fields in the shutter dimensions section. The first is mid-rail criticality. An explanation of this is provided in the help desk. To access the help desk, please click on the question mark icon. Critical mid-rails are only available in Madison. Next, we input the height of the mid-rail. When we start to input the measurements of the mid-rail, you will see that another field appears to the right of it. This is where you input the measurement of the second mid-rail if you are adding a second to the shutter. If only one mid-rail is required, do not input anything into the second mid-rail field. If no mid-rail is required at all, simply do not enter anything into these fields. We now move to the shutter control section. Here, in Tilt Option, we can select which tilt control we want to have on the shutter. Depending on which range and which type of louver we've selected, will determine which tilt options are available for the shutter. The next option we have is Tilt Split Location. If the shutter is to have split tilt, put in the measurement required. If no split tilt is required, leave it blank. Finally, on this page we have Shutter Layout. In this space, you input what configuration you want to have the panels in. To denote a bay, we use the letter B within the configuration to indicate where the bay post will be placed. In this example, we have a 3-section splayed bay. Therefore, the configuration in this example will be L, B, R, BR. This stands for left opener, bay post, right opener, bay post, right opener. More information on this can be found in the help desk, which you can view by clicking on the question mark icon. As you can see, as a result of selecting bay posts, some extra fields have appeared which we need to fill in. The top two fields are where we input the measurements to determine the exact positioning of the bay posts within the bay. As we always work from the left, the first measurement is from the furthest left-hand side of the bay to the first bay post. In other words, the width of the left-sided section. The second bay post in this example is the distance from the furthest left-hand side of the bay to the position of the second bay post, or in other words, the width of the first and second section combined. Therefore, for this example, the first measurement we need to input is 700 millimeters, as that is the width of the left-sided section. For the second bay post, we need to add the width of the left section and the central section of the bay to give us the correct measurement. Therefore, with the width of the left section being 700 millimeters and the width of the central section also being 700 millimeters, the measurement we need to input for the second bay post is 1400 millimeters. Now that we've inputted the bay post positions, we now need to input what angles we want both bay posts to be. We do this in the two bottom fields. Now select Save and Continue. When we come to the next page, the first option we need to choose is what type of frame we are using on the shutter. When we have decided on which to use, simply select it. Automatically, we are then given the choice of which style type we are going to use on the shutter. Please note that if you've designed a shutter with just a single panel, the option will only be a butt style. As each of the bay sections in this example are only single openers, here we only have the option of a butt style. We now move to the frame options. If the shutter is to have the same frame on all four sides, simply select Same Frame on all four sides. If, however, you need one or more of the frame size to be different, select one of the options from the drop-down menus. The most common frame side, which will differ from the others, is the frame bottom. If you want there to be no frame on the bottom, select No. If you want either a sill frame or a light block, select the appropriate option. If you have chosen an L frame and require build-out, you can choose the depth added to the rear of the frame here. Now select Save and Continue. On the next page we have the colour options. Dependent on which shutter range you select will determine which colours you have available to you. Having decided on which paint to use on the shutter, we now choose what finish to have on the hinge. Having selected the colours and hinge colours, we can now scroll down to view the shutter. On the side of the screen we have 5 buttons. The first button toggles the louvers open and closed. The second opens the bay to the right angle. The third opens the panels. The fourth gives us a top view. And the fifth reverts us back to a front view. In the bottom right of the screen, we have a zoom tool. You can also left click on the shutter and drag the shutter around to view it from whichever angle you wish. Moving down the screen, there is a section for special instructions. Any comments added into this section will be reviewed and actioned before the order is sent to production. To the right of special instructions, you have a field which allows you to add images. This can be helpful for uploading images to support the message you have put in special instructions. When this has been completed, select Save and Continue. At this stage, we have completed the design of the shutter. We now have the opportunity to either progress with the order or to add another shutter. You may also want to add additional items such as battens. To do this, move up to the top right hand side and select Add to your order. You will then be presented with the option of adding another shutter, a batten, posts or trims. If you have other shutters to order which have many of the same design features of the shutter you've already created, the quickest way to add more shutters to the order is to duplicate the shutter already completed and make adjustments where needed. To do this, select the 3-dot icon next to the price of the existing shutter. When the pop-up appears, select Duplicate Shutter. If you've completed all of the shutters you intend for this order, you can now review what you have created. In the centre of the screen, you can see some key information on the shutter you have designed. If you want to see more detail, select the Show Extra Information tab. If you want to see a detailed breakdown of your order, you can download an Excel version. This is of particular use when you're ordering multiple shutters and you want to check with ease that all options have been inputted correctly. When you are happy with the shutter you've designed, you can then progress the order. On the left hand side you have the drop down menu for the delivery option. If you are using Madison, you will see the options of standard and express delivery. If using another range, there will only be the option of standard delivery. Once you've selected your delivery type, you will select the delivery address. This will be your business address. With bay shutters which have bay posts, you must have technical drawings and therefore you need to select yes to the technical drawings question. Please note you will need to wait to receive these drawings, confirm that you're happy with the shutters and action this before the order is sent to production. Underneath the technical drawings section, you will need to select that you have read and accepted the terms and conditions before you can progress with the order. Once this has been done, you are ready to submit the order. When you've submitted your order, you'll be taken to the orders page. If you're an account customer, the order will be put onto your account. If you're a pro forma customer, you will need to pay for your order. To do this, select the three dot icon on the right hand side of your order. On the pop-up, select Pay. You will now be taken to a payment screen. Here you'll be able to process your payment. If you have selected technical drawings, no payment is made until the drawings have been returned and you are happy to proceed with the order. You will then need to make payment for the order.